All right, welcome, warriors. It's me, Linda B. Guys, sorry about that, a little technical hiccup there, but thank you guys so much for joining me on this live show. I appreciate you guys being patient in the chat. I apologize for that, but I'm going to go ahead and get started off with a word of prayer. Dear God, in Jesus' name, thank you so much, God, for everything that you have done, your grace and your mercy. I ask that you continue to bless this nation and continue to bless those who follow me on Chat with me, Linda B. Send them a special blessing. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. I apologize, guys, for that. I really do. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications, and I kindly ask that you stick around to the very end. We got to talk about this whole Tim Walz thing, okay? We got to talk about Tim Walz. That is what we're going to talk about. And this so-called Mitch Snow whistleblower with Candace Owens. Oh, she's got egg on her face, guys. We're going to go ahead and just say hello to everybody in the chat. Let me go ahead and say hello. We've got Stanley Dogs. Welcome back, everyone, from Christmas. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. I really do. I was caught up in a lot of cooking, Amfest and everything, and we're trying to get back on a regular schedule. I probably won't be here New Year's Eve. And we have Stanley Dogs again. Let's see, Iron Ear, Merry Christmas and a Trumpy New Year. And yes, we have you guys here. It says Muslims think it's okay to lie. So how do we trust them after all this fraud? And yes, and my husband says, hello, hello, hello. Yes, and we've got Brenda Dupree. Yes, on the Pirate Somalis, they need to go back home. They have more than state their welcome. They want to unalive us eventually because we are Christians. All right. I do apologize for that 10-minute delay. It's just a little crazy around here. Okay, guys. I am not my normal self, but I am in a very cheerful, good mood. But I do want to first start off with this whole Minnesota fraud thing. The Minnesota fraud is so deep and so vast, very deep, very vast. It is not something that we should take lightly because this is taxpayer money, guys, taxpayer money. I want you guys to revisit state senator for Minnesota, Melissa Hortman, after a vote that she did, okay? After a vote, here it is. Now, listen to the sound in her voice. And there is a reason why I am revisiting this. I am revisiting this because I feel like it is connected to everything else going on in the state of Minnesota. All right. Remember, she and her husband were shortly thereafter this vote were both eliminated permanently off the face of the earth. They were both unalive. They were both murdered, okay, at their homes by allegedly Vance Belter, who the media, the left-leaning media, tried to paint him as a Trump supporter. But in actuality, in 2019, he was appointed by Tim Walz, the Democrat governor for Minnesota. Okay, so listen to her voice and remember what happened to her. She knew that she was possibly in a lot of danger.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut-wrenched at this decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Hortman knows she let down her own caucus members with the vote.
They're right to be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job was to make folks who voted for that bill feel like crap, and I think that they succeeded.
So the whole point of this bill was to get healthcare, Medicaid, all of that for illegals, for the immigrants. She voted against it. She was a lone person, and we see what happened to her. Politics is a dangerous game. If you guys think that this was just some random act, it was not random. There was a reason why she is no longer here. That was not a Trumper that did that to her. That was a clefty lefty. They want to paint it as a Trumper. This man was appointed by Walz. Now, Walz is not for anybody, MAGA or Trumper or Republican, GOP, conservative at all. All right. And this woman and her husband are now dead. Okay, dead. And you heard the fear in her voice. Now, you know very well, as much as I do, that there is something going on. And I'm just going to say allegedly to everything in this video, but you know what I think. You know what I think about this. And I wanted to revisit that because I feel like it is so super important that we always are aware of things and that we do not forget the history of things. Now let's hear what Tim Walz has to say. I want to read this little caption above it. It says, Tim Walz responds to the expose of widespread Somali fraud. White people commit crimes too. That's what he says. Walz has proven he has no intention of cutting out the fraud. He needs to be arrested. Americans are sick of people like him getting away with conspiring to scam taxpayers. Listen to him.
Look, it's not law-abiding citizens. If that were the case, there's a lot of white men should be holding a lot of white men accountable for the crimes that they have committed. I think for the community to maybe educate their population, because I think what you're seeing here is there's secondary victims in this, that there's providers inside the community that are then victimizing the community themselves by signing them up. Because when we're going to some of these people, they're like, I had no idea I was in this program. So I think it's asking us then, for every crime, which of course the majority being committed by white men, asking us to do more about that. I think it's crime in general. And I think the biggest thing on this is just making sure that we're educating the population. And again, this is 80 people or so that have been convicted in this, maybe some more in that, out of a broader ring. Medicaid fraud will stretch across all racial demographics, all ethnic groups. So I think it's really important for us to note each community's got this in their own midst, but to blame them and say that they should have been responsible for stopping it, I think that's a pretty hard reach. I think we continue to educate folks about why they shouldn't commit crimes. You would hope that it's being taught both at home and at schools and in our society. But no, I think this idea that the Somali community is to blame for this because they didn't do more, I think that's how we got into this. And that's, again, I know we're not going to lose the whole plot here. All this work that's being done, Donald Trump brought this to the attention like this is something brand new. This is not brand new, and it's been being worked on, but he made it white hot and very dangerous.
He made it white hot and very dangerous. Again, you got to point the fingers to the other person, even though you're the governor of the state with all this fraud. You have a dead Minnesota Senate woman by the name of Melissa Hortman after she voted a certain way. And you want to make this about ethnicity. He says white people commit crime too. See, Democrats, their playbook is this is just my opinion, y'all. They love using skin color to get dirty work done. I'm going to say that for the ones in the back. The Democrats, these demon rats, love to use skin color to get dirty work done. And then when you say something about it, you must be a xenophobe, Islamophobe, racist, misogynist. All that name calling is just very telling. Okay, it is very telling. Yes, white people commit crimes too. We know this. But the ones that are involved in this fraud on a large scale, according to the evidence, appear to be Somali immigrants. And we're not saying that because they look black or whatever they look like. We don't do that on the conservative side. We just want people to stop hurting the American taxpayer. I don't care what you look like. Okay, I really don't. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people allegedly are here illegally. And I did a video today that I pushed out where they are bragging and laughing in our faces. The Democrats, boy, Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to take a break from all this fraud stuff because it really makes me angry. Sometimes I do a silly video, something comical that'll make you laugh to get a little comic relief. There's a reason why I do that. And it's just because sometimes it just gets too heavy. But I do want to mention that we have a new member, D. Treville 1. Yes, we do. All right. Just welcome her. Yes. Or D. Treville. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman, but yay. All right. All right. All right. I just wanted to do that. I wanted to make sure that I did not overlook this person. And welcome, welcome, welcome. We just love everybody here at Chat with Me, Linda B. And you guys just tell me what you think about all this. It's crazy. It has gotten really wild. And I got to get to some other stuff. Now, I got a little Terrence K. Williams. Now, you want a little, now okay, let me just warn you guys. I'm warning you right now. His language is a bit, it's how he is. Okay, he can be a little something, something. All right. Let's try to I don't know what to tell you about his language. But I thought it was good what he was saying. We got to get past this part. We've got patriots, people who love this country, who talk a bit spicy. All right, so let's listen up.
Everybody, a fair warning right now. You might not like my language in this video, but I don't care. I'm not holding back. I'm calling on every single Republican in office to get off of your lazy asses and go after Tim Walz. Get together, huddle around. I don't care. Do what you got to do. Grow a spine and go after these crooked ass Democrats. Go after these scamming Somalians stealing from the American people. You don't think Tim Walz knew about $18 billion being stolen? $18 billion in fraud. And he didn't know? Bullshit. Bullshit. If Tim Walz were a Republican governor, the Democrats would have known about this fraud a long time ago, and they would have indicted his ass on day one. Make no damn mistake. The damn Democrats they want to impeach Trump because he is renovating the White House ballroom. Democrats want to impeach Trump because he's renovating the White House ballroom and he's spending his own money and people are donating to help renovate it. But y'all don't want to talk about this damn dude over here allowing $18 billion to just vanish. Follow the money. Every Republican in office right now, every elected official, every Republican in the House should be, y'all, where is the subpoena at? He should be, where is the damn subpoena? Y'all should have issued a damn subpoena a day ago. A damn day ago. Issue one right now. Drag his ass into Congress. Make him answer to the American people. And we also need to look into every other state. Look into all 50 states. Go after every single scam that is going on in every single state. I guarantee you it's not just Minnesota. I guarantee you it's probably going on in most states. And we need to figure out who is scamming the American people. We work too damn hard. And we got to pay these motherfucking, oh my.
Got a little too spicy.
I told y'all, excuse my language. We got to pay all these damn taxes just for people to come to our damn country, steal our money, and we got to continue to pay taxes while people are stealing our tax dollars. And if we don't pay taxes on time, guess what happens? They foreclose your home. They take your home. They take your property. They threaten you with prison time.
And I want to just pause for a moment about that property, the taxes, property taxes. It makes me think about what's going on in Chicago right now. You know, the Chicago Flips Red crew. And just so you guys know, I've reached out to the ladies of Chicago Flips Red, and I want to have them possibly on a live show, but maybe it'll be recorded. I haven't decided yet. but it might be live. And I really am going to advertise it ahead of time. And I need you guys to show up big and strong for the ladies of Chicago Flips Red, because they deserve it. And I'm going to have them on the show, guys. I reached out and they reached back. So we're working out the schedule right now. But it makes me think about the property taxes in Chicago, because people cannot pay that. That's added to your mortgage. And my property taxes went up, and you never like it when they go up. It went up like $100 and something, maybe 150, something like that. And theirs went up a lot. I think theirs went up totally like $150 million. I think they were going to do $300 million in Chicago, but they settled on $150 million. And the people are so upset, they don't know how they're going to stay in their homes. And some of you have said that they know what they're doing, because they're going to take people, push them out of their homes because they're not able to pay the taxes, and put the illegals in. That is the great replacement. Make the property taxes really high. The American citizens won't be able to pay them. They lose their homes, and the illegals come in. Now, that I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's what's out there. And you're looking at it and you're like, wait a minute, this could actually be the case. That is so satanic, y'all. Oh, and you know what? Let me also vent. Democrats are evil. Don't get me wrong. They are awful. They are the most evil institution in the history of the entire world. There, I said it, okay? But they get stuff done. Even though it's not right, they get it done. When they go after you, you see it. You have visible evidence of them going after people. And sometimes in permanent ways. Lord, have mercy on everybody. Lord, help us all in Jesus' name. But Republicans just don't do as... I got to say this about Republicans. Y'all disappoint me. You don't do anything. There's a bunch of talk. There's a bunch of, we're going on to do an investigation, and nothing gets done. I'm beginning to think that this is all theatrics. I'm beginning to think that both parties are two sides of the same coin, because I don't see anything getting done. I don't see any perp walks. I don't see any arrests. I see a bunch of investigations. I don't see anything being done. I don't see Republicans getting anything done. Democrats at least get stuff done, although they are evil, and I don't agree with anything about that party. But at least they get things done. Republicans don't do anything. And to me, they vote, they have better legislation, better policies, but they don't. When it comes time to arrest or investigate or move it forward, nothing happens there. Why is that? I want somebody to answer me real quick. All right. I want to meet with the president. I want to meet with somebody. Y'all need to get up off y'all's behinds. Everybody up there. The GOP, get off your poo-poos. That's what GOP. Get off your behinds and do something. I'm sick of y'all dragging your feet now. Get a spine.
So we got to pay taxes. We got to pay taxes on time so that people can steal our damn money. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. This is a disgrace. This is the, oh my, y'all. And y'all wanted Tim Walz to be, y'all wanted him to be the vice president of the United States of America. Y'all wanted him to be the second most powerful person in charge. Pam Bondi, you better hit him with an indictment. He needs to be federally charged right now, today. Today. You got enough evidence today. Charge him. It needs to happen before 2027. It needs to happen today, tomorrow. It needs to happen by December 31st of 2025. Make it happen fast. Issue a subpoena today. Do something, anything. Go after him. He knew about it. He knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 30% chance right now that he could be federally charged. It needs to be 100% chance.
And you see he's got like Tim Walz, 32%, Alvin Bragg, 32%, Fonnie Willis, 30%, Barack Obama, 9%. Ugh. Y'all, these Democrats are out here playing in our faces. And you, Layla, says that the conservative YouTuber and farmer, the Max, said his property tax was $36,000. He's furious. Where does he live? Oh my goodness, that is high. How do they expect people to be able to pay this stuff? Oh, I mean, that's crazy. Claim more dependents during the year. I mean, I'm just saying, this is wild. And see, this man could have been the next person in charge. Lord help us. The Democrats don't have any good candidates. They really don't. They don't have anybody good. But that's that on Tampon Timmy. That fraud is massive in Minnesota. And I did a video with Nick Shirley. That is massive. And in my opinion, he not only did Tim Walz know about it, he wanted it. He wanted this. Okay. Don't you dare think that this man did not want this. I think he did. That's my opinion. He did. He wanted it. They're not going to do anything about it. Brandon Johnson, JB Pritzker is not going to do anything. What's going on in their state? They never do anything but allow fraud to take place. But the Democrats at least get things done, even though everything they do really hurts the American person. But you have Republicans, you guys, I am disappointed. I want to see something happen. If I don't see anything happen, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off, but it's friendly fire, okay? Because I'm getting impatient. I'm just getting impatient. I want something to happen, and I'm tired of you guys not really doing anything. You need to get to work. All right, get to work. All right, so now we got to look at some other things now. You know, this whole thing with Candace Owens. Okay. She supposedly has this whistleblower by the name of Mitch Snow. Okay. A little bit about him. He is a retired U.S. staff sergeant. And he supposedly, allegedly, saw some things like leading up to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This man was on her show over a week ago, and it just recently came out. Well, she was putting him forth as someone very credible. But is he credible? Is Mitch Snow credible? Because lately, all the things that have been coming out about Candace Owens and all these things, these conspiracies and these, I don't know, but I know, and I'm just asking questions, they're coming back not to be true or credible. There's evidence that the Egyptian plane thing was a hoax. That's out there. Now, you know, I'm not saying I know. I'm just telling you what's out there. And this man looks like his credibility is not all that either. Okay, but I'm going to let you listen to a little bit of this. I know we tired of candy cane nut job. I know, but don't forget to like this video and comment. And guys, really like it. It really pushes the video out farther into YouTube so more people can see it. But let's just listen to a little bit of this. Not a lot, just a little bit. This is Mitch Snow. And it says my interview with Mitch and what he saw. What he saw, you know, and all of that. So we're just going to listen.
What I would describe as, I don't know if it's the best or the worst luck ever in life, stumbling upon the feds when they're maybe up to no good. Mitch, welcome to my podcast. It's so great to have you here.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here, Candace. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I obviously, you know the story of how I instantly got the email from one of your friends that just said, you should call Mitch, after I prayed and said, I'm missing a piece of this. Please, God, give me a piece of the story. And the first email I see when I get back from church on a day of holy obligation is this email. And so, Mitch, my audience is up to date on what happened to you when you were 20 years old. And I'm wondering if you can just sort of briefly recap in case I got some things wrong.
Oh, wow. Briefly recap 35 years. Sure. Yeah, we were part of a mission going down to down to the border of JTF 6, assigned from 10th Mountain. Previously, there had been a Marine Corps unit there. Apparently, they had an incident. We had to replace them. And they wanted a less kinetic unit to be involved. So we went down there in a matter of a few days, and I was the youngest guy on the team. And for the first few days, I got assigned to have to, do the hard work of putting in the sensors and following one of the border patrol who was on horseback. Got to learn a little bit about picking up signs in the desert, stuff like that, while we were placing these sensors down. It took a few days. I think we put in like 80 sensors or so along the border, and we were getting they thought it was some glitch signals coming back. Being that I had just gone through the course, I had the most updated information, and what we realized is they weren't glitch signals that these people were being sent out for. It was subterranean, and when I got pulled back to the JTF 6 headquarters, they were in discussions of trying to remove the Army. In case your viewers don't understand, when units get put together like this, especially this mission, there's a lot of contention even to this day between the Army and Border Patrol, and who gets to take credit and who gets to stay, who gets to go. And back then, Border Patrol, I think they just wanted us out of their hair. So they were having some sort of a big meeting, and it was a big do not disturb meeting. And I got assigned to the skeleton crew to sit back on the SMS, the receiver. And I was looking at the data while the skeleton crew of the Border Patrol was left there with me as well. And he was giving me a bad time about the Army equipment and how they were being sent out for no reason. And he kept giving me a bad time about it. So we were looking at the data and we started discussing things. And I brought up the fact that, I asked if there was any subways or something like that around. And between the two of us, the light bulb went on that, it was an underground tunnel. And within minutes, we could triangulate the signals and be able to pinpoint the location. And that's the information I got to hand off. So no, I didn't, go on the raid itself. Handing that information off was the probable cause they needed to be able to go get a warrant, go to the location, and also communicate with the Mexican authorities on the other side to perform a raid. And that's what happened.
Now you're thinking, amazing, we have found the biggest cartel tunnel. There had never been one bigger previously discovered.
So he was what he saw at Fort Huachuca, which is like in Arizona. And he's saying, I don't want to go through this. It's really a little dragging a bit, but this is the man who says he saw certain things like leading up to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is why I'm showing this. But I want to also show you something else. I want to show you some articles that have come out. Now, this man, she praised him as being like a big deal, like credible and all of that. But lately, this is what has been coming out about this Mitch Snow. I have never heard of this man, but look at what this is. It says Candace Owens, secret whistleblower identified, spread this far and wide. He's a fraud. There were many red flags in the interview Candace did with one of her fans today. One of the main things that stuck out to me is she claimed the guy's name was Harry, but he changed it to Mitch. because people were after him. If that were true, didn't she literally blow his cover on her show? This is how dumb her audience is. The guy claims he's had to change his name and he's been running for his life from assassins for 35 years, wants to keep a low profile, but shows his face on supposedly the biggest podcast in the world. He talks about various things he did in the military, including discovering cartel tunnels, which is what he was just talking about, and finding out that the military worked with the cartel and more. Well, turns out he never really changed his name at all. His name is Mitchell Harrison Snow. It says right here on this website that he was actually a medic that got medically discharged after a rock climbing accident. I could be wrong, but I don't think a medic would be doing the things he described doing while he was in the military. Candace did no research once again. She either did not properly vet this guy. She did, according to this. She did not properly vet this guy, or she purposely let him on her show to spread lies directed at Erica Kirk. Repost this under every post that you see spreading her lies. More to come. We're getting close. He's again retired Staff Sergeant Mitch Snow. And it says that Candace Owens was warned that her whistleblower Mitch was a fraud. The internet quickly exposed him. Even some of Candace's biggest supporters like Evan Kilgore and George Webb warned Candace that the whistleblower was lying. What did she do? Well, she had him on the show and she just, gives this man credibility. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. Also, I am going to read an article about this as well. See, this is where we got to expose people for the things that they say, okay? Because I'm going to read to you what he said. I'm going to go down here. Okay, it says attention turned sharply. This is coming by Times of India. Times of India. And it says attention turned sharply toward Mitchell Snow after his appearance on Owens's platform placed him at Fort Huachuca in Arizona during a critical period. Until then, Snow lived largely outside of public view. His sudden visibility sparked intense scrutiny, with supporters and critics dissecting every detail of his account. Owens has repeatedly said she did not present Snow's statements as final proof, but believes the unanswered questions deserve careful examination rather than dismissal. Exploring who is Mitch Snow as he raises unresolved timeline questions. Mitch Snow is a retired U.S. Army Sergeant, Staff Sergeant, who served as a combat medic and pursued a career in Special Forces, and he had an accident. It goes on to say that during the interview, Snow was direct about his lack of affiliation. Quote, "I don't know these people from TPUSA, never been associated with it," quote, he said. He also described seeing Brian Harpo leaving what he believed was a senior level meeting, adding, quote, "They were there and the head of security was one of the people walking out with the congressman," end quote. Snow further stated he was 95 to 99% sure he recognized Erica Kirk during that time. I'm just telling you what this man said. I don't really believe him. I think he's just really not credible at all. Online reaction was swift and divided. Critics questioned Snow's recollection and terminology, while others pointed to gaps in public records. Owens responded by rejecting claims that flight data or assumptions settle the matter. "We now need solid information on the whereabouts of all mentioned so we can move on," she wrote. At this stage, Snow's account remains unverified. There are no official findings to back up or refute his claims. The interesting part is the fact that Owens insists that the conversation should be guided by facts rather than emotions, as the clarity seek is in progress. And so it looks like he's just this person right here is, I don't know if Mitch is telling the truth or lying about Fort Huachuca. I don't know if Mitch is telling what he thinks is the truth, but it's just misremembering or mistaken. I don't know if he's a psyop to discredit Candace or the broader investigation into the Charlie Kirk assassination. So this man does not seem to be credible. She's trying to put things together. He was at Fort Huachuca in Arizona. And, Charlie Kirk is in Arizona, but what happened was in Utah Valley University, in Utah. So that was not necessarily you know, I'm going to leave the link to the Candace video in here. So you guys, if you feel like being bothered, listening to her voice, can listen to the rest of the interview, but it was dragging. And I know you guys don't want to drag on this live show, but, the thing about Candace is a lot of her things are coming back to haunt her. She has been discredited in that video that I did with all the bridges that she has burned. Dennis Prager wrote her a letter, and it was like, you are saying things that are not true. So I'm bringing this up to people who might follow Candace. She says things, hello, that are not true. They are not verified. She's throwing this out there, like this whole interview with Mitch Snow, like it could have something to do with the Charlie Kirk assassination. He mentioned Erica Kirk coming out of a meeting and all of that, trying to throw shade at TPUSA and Erica Kirk. But there is still no connecting of the dots. I'm telling you, Candace is out here. First of all, she has gone against Trump, against Israel, Jew hatred, woman that she is, a total heifer, and she is mad and angry at Charlie Kirk's legacy and wants to destroy it. Okay, so that is why she is on this rampage. I want you guys who might be who might be Candace Owens fans, whatever, to realize that she's never going to be able to connect these dots. This is just a way for her to grift and make more money. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Don't forget to like this video, guys, and so it goes out farther into YouTube. All right, Kenny Cooper's talking about Fulton County. All right, let's see what else you guys saying. Diego Ramirez, Red Pill, Grand Theft Auto 6 start game by 2026. Candace Owens says, oh, I don't want to say that. I don't want anything bad to happen to her at all. Good evening from Burlington, Wisconsin. Sorry I'm late. And Brenda, my girls, is saying to Brenda Dupree, we are overrun with illegals, which drives the price of everything sky high. That's what I've been thinking about. Supply and demand. When you have more people, the prices go up because of the higher demand. Less people, lower demand, it lowers the price. We have had 12 years of demon rat dogs, and it will take even more years to straighten it out. What is he talking about? Food prices are coming down, and as long as gas prices drop, food prices should eventually. Yes, Layla, at the beginning, you can tell his frustration. Candace asking him to summarize it. He said, wow, summarize 35 years. Okay. Before Grand Theft Auto 6, after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Okay. And my girl says, I don't watch Candace and never saw the video Linda showed before I could see he was up to no good. A lot of people are saying, again, this man's credibility. And I'm going to tell you who else called him out. Alex. You know, the infamous Alex. InfoWars. Him. Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Yes, he called out Mitch and is calling out Candace also. Kenny Cooper. I don't want to torture myself watching Candace. Iris says me either. But I wanted to share that with you guys, but I want to show you something else before this, and we'll end this live stream. But here is, look at this. This is a Minnesota legislative candidate, Abdi Desane, and the daycare pipeline to political power. Minnesota is at the center of one of the largest daycare and social services fraud scandals in history. And this person is running he's in politics. What? This is a Somali person. Okay, listen to this. This is crazy. This is what we're dealing with in Minnesota.
Not that our boundaries really matter that much, but we are in District 14A right now. And District 14A includes part of St. Cloud, Wade Park, St. Joe, and Sinigasta. I am one of you, a neighbor, a father, a business owner, and I own a child care center. Our community has been one with growing and changing over the years.
All right, I'm not going to listen to this whole thing. It's not even 3 minutes, but I just can't. I can't even put you guys through it. I can't put myself through it. But this is, again, I hope he's legal at least. But these people that come in, even if they're legal, you guys know that even if someone is legal, if they don't have an assimilation mindset, it still is no good for the country. So it's not just illegals, it's anybody that is here with the sole purpose of helping to destroy our country. And they could have played the good game and even become legal. So you can't really do anything to them, but they could still have horrible connections, still have plans to hurt and disrupt. Okay. So at this time, that's why I've said it over and over and over again. We do not need any more immigrants right now. Legal, illegal, none, no more. Close shop, close for business. We got to clean up. We need an immigration enema. We need an immigration colon cleanse. We don't need anybody else in here. We have enough people already. We've got more people than we want because remember, 15 million illegals in this country, led in by Biden and Kamala Harris. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys, I want to just mention also that I am going to be promoting on my videos, maybe a little bit, and also look out for short videos that I'm pushing out on my channel. When you go to my channel, go under shorts. I am working on a TV show called Liz Town. On one of my other lives, I did show you the trailer. I want you guys to really support me on this. Okay. And now that I have you guys here, I'm going to see if I can pull up this thing here. I don't think I'll be able to pull it up. I don't think I saved it, but it's going to be on my live. Maybe tomorrow I'll pull it up on a live show, but I want you guys to go to my shorts starting tomorrow and look at my shorts, maybe later on tonight. And there's going to be a QR code in a video about Liz Town. I need votes to say, yes, you should green light this project because it's Christian based. It will be well done. It will not have all that indoctrination and all that freaky stuff that a lot of TV shows and movies have. So you can feel good about watching it and supporting me. And I will talk to you about Liz Town, and it's called Good Works. I'm actually going to put the link in the description box. I'm gonna show this to you right now, actually, so you guys can see it. I want to show this to you. All right, so look at your screen here. Look at it. This is how you can see the trailer and vote. Okay, it's gonna ask you questions about the trailer, how you feel about it, and should this actually be green lit. Okay, and this is Good Works, and this is the trailer, and you can over here rate the show. And would you like Good Works to green light this project? Say yes and click vote. Okay, but I am going to put the link to this in the description box below. So you guys, I need you to go to the description of this video after the live and really check it out and vote yes. This is really going to support me. I need 1,000 yes votes. I don't need any no's. I need yeses, yes votes. Okay. This is just going to give you a snippet, but thank you guys so much for supporting me on this channel. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share. If you have not subscribed, please continue to subscribe to my channel and hit all notifications, and go ahead and give me a few seconds to put this link in the description. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors. Good night, everybody.